Going to welcome you back to the Principals Podcast on this beautiful April 20th day outside. We wanted to spice things up today, go into the art department where they have both been doing some special sessions with their students, Bob Ross moments. I want to let everyone know today we are with Eric Hauber, who a month ago was clean shaven. And now he has grown a quarantine beard. And
right.
Mrs. Blaschke, who had hair like mine, and then it just grew out in the last 4 weeks. Once again, we are here with Douglas Bumble. No, what is that hat? What is that hat today? Orioles?
It's a panther. It's
Oh.
an E with a panther.
Euclid Panther hat. We're going retro 70s there.
Oh my God.
And Mr. Bandera, who still is in his quarantine mustache.
I'm digging in like the quarantine Bandera
It's
personally.
sporting you well.
It looks
stopped
good.
growing, though. I wish
Yeah,
it would grow more. What do you use?
So,
Miracle Grow?
Oh, I got my waxes and balms, oils. I have the works. My routine is a little shorter every morning since we've gone into quarantine, but
before we
a lot longer than Danielle to get ready then, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Before we begin asking you how you're doing, we would like both of you, starting with Mr. Hauber, to describe the room in which you're in.
The room in which I'm in. This is my humble abode, my studio, the bit of corner space that I am allowed to have at our place, for how small that it might be. We live downtown Willoughby. We got a nice little townhouse just up the street from downtown. And this is my space that I kind of do all my little video recordings and sketching, drawings. So developing up some projects. They all start right here.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Christina, tell us about your backdrop.
What about my backdrop?
Your office. Tell us where you are, and you got a lot of frames up.
Oh, sorry, like my thing cut out for a hot second. I'm like, what's happening here? And then things, just
Drawings, prints.
drawings. Mostly drawings, prints. There's a velvet skull, so there's that.
Yeah, as artists, we gotta have our skulls.
Yeah, I want to see the new one I just got. It's so stinking cute. I won't even tell you what I got with my stimulus check because I'm kind of embarrassed, but my little one.
Oh, cool.
Isn't it precious?
Yeah, neat. It's not real, is it?
I think it just broke.
Yeah, it's real. Came from.
This is the conversations we'll be having with the art department. This is
Mrs. Blaschke, the last time I joined a class, it looked like you were in a fern garden in your front, like you had a special front window. You had plants all over the place.
I don't have a fern garden. It's just
Oh, there it is.
There it is. There it is.
Gotcha. So that's where. So we are both in your studios today, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Let's talk about how life has been for the last 5 weeks, artistically, because this is a totally different world where it's not like you have to have day-to-day operations with kids. You do want to meet with them, but you're working design and you're working various elements that you're teaching. So talk to us about your classes.
You want to go first, Blaschke?
Well, it's been interesting. I'd say right now the biggest challenge is teaching a ceramics class in this sort of situation. But basically, I've just been having my students look up different tutorials and using materials that they have available to them so they can create more sculptural things rather than using clay like we were able to at school. And then I had my AP kids go on a virtual tour today to the Smithsonian, which was kind of fun.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I was talking to Blaschke about this the other day. It's been fun because I've had to solve new problems that I haven't before, such as setting up a space where I could teach from at home, to the projects that I put out there. But also you have to be a little bit more inventive, as Blaschke was saying, because I should only expect that the kids at home would only have a pencil and piece of paper or anything they could draw on.
Maybe.
So my lessons have become a little more, I've had to solve those kinds of problems and become a little bit more inventive with how they use their tools. But I also been doing a lot of meditating on the fact that half of my teaching is the energy that I have in the room. I mean, maybe more of my teaching is the energy that I have in the room. So yes, it's been a lot of fun to dig up, lesson plans and get inspired by artists that I've been looking at and giving them to my students, to recording little videos and things like that. It's been fun. And I've been having to, again, adapt like all our teachers have in a new way. But at the same time, I realize that there's still something big missing. And it's that one-on-one interaction and energy that I have in the room with the kids face to face that puts a little bit of a damper on things, I guess. So,
have either of you ever taken a virtual art class like this before?
I have not.
I took a digital photography class, but I felt like it's just, Eric's right. There's something definitely missing there, where there's just like the atmosphere in your classroom, and it's like definitely a different feeling probably than anywhere else in the building. And, it's like that space that you get to create in, and you kind of lose that element, which kind of puts a damper on it.
Right.
Hauber, are there windows in your workshop? Because you don't have windows during the day.
I've got a couple small windows right over here. Yeah.
Okay.
What might look like natural lighting is actually a lamp that I have right over here, over to stage left. But no, I do have two small windows down here. And my library, and I have a little movie theater projector set up over here. So this is my little inspiration room down here.
Do you have a wakeboard?
Yeah, wakeboard
and a skateboard.
Bamboo wakeboard, and then this is one of my longboards. Yes, I've been doing a lot of longboarding over quarantine. He's trying to get outside every day to do something. So
you got a lot of construction over by you, don't you?
Yeah, downtown Willoughby, man. It's supposed to go through, I think, June or July. Ooh. So aside from the businesses all being closed, also, you can't really get through downtown Willoughby either. So, yeah.
Have you talked with other art teachers? Because you have a kind of consortium of friends like in the other districts about what they're doing and things like, because I know, Christina, you talk a lot with Kenston in particular. Mm-hmm. So have you talked to other teachers in other districts?
Sorry. There's children screaming in the other part of the house, which isn't very big. I'm personally in like an AP, like we have a Google Classroom. We have like a text group where we talk about different things that's happening with AP. And they'll share ideas, which is really awesome. But they're dealing with the same struggles at this point. It's definitely interesting. Yeah, I think for everybody. I don't know, Eric, do you talk to
I haven't worked out, but I live nearby a couple of art teachers from Willoughby and Mentor around here that I've run into just from going around the neighborhood, and we've just been chit-chatting. But same thing is, they're all dealing with the same issues, and again, trying to be inventive in new ways of teaching, but at the same time, it's just not the same as being face-to-face with the kids, Sure. And also with art especially, it's so much of not just the interaction they have face-to-face, but with your art itself also, and talking about the art. So there's still a big handicap with doing it digitally like this. For instance, when we were doing the Lakeland art show, student art show, we would have to send in JPEGs of the artwork, not the original artwork itself. And you could only get, it was a judged event. So when the judges would look at that art, you could only get so much out of a JPEG. And seeing the art in the flesh, or in the paper, or whatever that you want to say it, when you look at it, the actual art, you just get the experience that you don't get by looking at just a photo of the art. So there's still a huge element that's missing, in doing this. But
what's some of the more creative things that your students have produced during this time?
I've liked the little montage videos. So I have my students turning in their artwork via photo, whether they take it with their Chromebook or a phone. But I've also had them do little montage or time-lapse videos of their art too. I haven't asked for it, but they just do it, take it upon themselves to do it. So that's been nice little surprises, that I'll get back. So that's been fun.
Yeah, I've had a lot of my kids do that, which for my own artwork, sometimes it's difficult for me to do videos, but it's really cool to see them do the work. I think one of the cooler things that I've seen is I've had them for my ceramics kids. They did like a tutorial, again, like I said, like using materials that they had at home. I had a girl make like a giant, like for popsicle sticks, a pretty decent sized shelf out of popsicle sticks. I had another girl make like this beautiful little dinosaur out of Play-Doh. So, I mean, they're getting creative, and it's actually really fun to see. I actually thank them for that, because it kind of made me kind of re-energized with teaching this way.
And with that point also, a lot of kids, I shouldn't say a lot of, but there are certain kids that actually find it more comforting to draw or do artwork at home versus in a classroom with 30 other students. So it's been fun to see some of those kids kind of take off with our lessons or go on a completely different tangent, because that's what they've been doing and that's what they have been practicing at home, but we don't see it or they don't show it to us in the classroom. So it's been fun to see kind of what the kids do on their own also, and what inspires them personally, and send it to us too. So that's been exciting to see also.
I may have to bust out the Play-Doh while I'm sitting here and.
Actually, I have been busting out the Play-Doh.
Yes!
That's my head from I don't know what art for. It was,
I love it.
Wow!
You can have cookies.
Did you make that when you're at Chardon?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I should just keep that in my faculty meetings. Just have this head.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was thinking with the colors. I don't know.
Yeah.
Very brave heart for some reason.
I was going to say a little David Bowie. Yeah.
But there's notice that hair.
Yeah.
Insane.
A loaf of bread or a brain? I don't know.
Yeah,
It looks like a brain, right? Like a brain. Little facial hair at the chin.
Yeah. Who'd you have then, Murray? Was it Palmstrom?
Clap saddle for that class.
Clap saddle for that class. Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
So,
great.
That probably took forever.
Hauber, you love food.
Yeah, I love food.
What is the Mr. I'll let Mr. Banderas. This is
my question.
His tagline here.
I've been asking everyone what their favorite quarantine meal so far is, whether it's something you purchased, whether it's something you made yourself, or who knows, maybe you took up a fancy cooking class online or whatever. What's your favorite quarantine meal so far that you've had since this all started?
I would have to say in general, it would be my wife's cooking. So, with this whole quarantining, me being able to sketch, I've been drawing more, sketching more. That's kind of been my projects, but she's been getting creative with her cooking ways lately and making some really good stuff that has been awesome. So she made a really good chicken francaise the other night, which I would say was my favorite.
That sounds delicious.
Very nice.
Mrs. Blaschke, how about you?
What?
Favorite meal so far that
I don't know if I have a favorite meal. I've been telling Hauber this a whole lot. I've been baking a lot of bread. Like I jumped on the bread bandwagon.
Yeah.
Can you find any yeast anywhere? It's like impossible to find right now.
That's what I heard.
Made sure my husband went out and bought like we didn't overstock on toilet paper. We overstocked on yeast. So, but I've been making, don't get mad at me, don't judge me. I've been making bread for other people as well and dropping it off because I'm just
That's
so
very kind-hearted.
But yeah, I've been really I've been working on drawing and stuff. It's kind of going back to the like having that interaction. I feel like I'm more inspired and I'm working more when I'm with the students. So I don't get to draw as much, I feel like, but I've definitely been cooking a lot more, baking a lot more, definitely baking bread. And right now I'm actually working on a sourdough loaf, which instead of using yeast, you make like a starter, and it's like you have to like feed it. It's like a little pet. Ours is named Famous. It's weird. It's weird, but it's like you're kind of using like wild yeast, like in the flour and stuff, and then you use that to raise the bread instead of using active yeast, like an instant yeast. I'm learning all sorts of science here.
Cool. Yeah, sounds like science.
Very nice. So
it's an art form.
It is. So if we ever do get back to school, and who knows what it'll look like in the fall here, what's the first thing you will do when you come back to school, do you think?
Clean and organize my classroom. Try to get rid of clutter.
Smart.
Yeah.
Weep. I'd probably weep now. I don't know. I feel like I'm constantly cleaning my classroom. I just want to, you know what's great though? No, you know what? Not being around my kids so much. I think, I will weep tears of joy to have a little bit of space away from my 2 young children. I love them, but they're driving me insane.
I was going to ask, has that been a challenge? I know I have a 2-year-old at home, and I think it's been a challenge from time to time with him. Has that been a big challenge, adjusting to mom life and work life at the same time?
As you can hear Cece right now, he knows I'm back here. It's kind of getting to the point where this is like the new norm, so it's a little bit better. But I think in the first couple weeks, I was having a lot of trouble. Like at this point, I'm just picking my battles. Like my son had a stash of candy from Easter today, and I'm like, you're just gonna have a stomach ache. I'm like, eat it, you'll puke. It's fine. Like it's different than during the year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can certainly go get Cece and bring her to the show if you need to. We've all brought our kids in.
All right, I'll go get her. She's okay.
Hauber, while she's doing that, one of the things when I looked at my calendar, I was noticing that I think the district art show is supposed to be coming, either supposed to happen or be coming up here pretty soon.
Yeah.
I know that's one of the things that a lot of our students are going to miss.
Right.
Definitely, and you guys did such a phenomenal job with that last year. I know we all kind of poured in points last year.
Yeah.
Any thoughts about like a digital art show of some sort, or having the students share stuff on Twitter with us or anything like that?
It's been thrown around. So our district head, Mrs. Heron, Christy Heron, she's mentioned having some kind of an alternative art show, even if it was something that maybe we did in the fall. So it's been thrown around. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, and of all the projects, too, because I was very bummed by I was very bummed by the fact that, through all of this, my storytelling class made that animation that they put so much hard work and time into, and that was meant to be something that would be shown to the district and to the community members. And the project, I would say, I was probably most proud of this year, and it's a bummer that we won't be able to present that. So. That, along with many other examples, we're trying to figure out an alternative way to show it. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, so we're in talks.
Cool.
Mom.
Hi, Cece.
She just wants to touch on things. That's all.
That's typical.
She's being extra pathetic right now.
We really we appreciate all the time you gave us today. And certainly, if you have any questions, certainly you can ask them now. But we always make sure that we do close out with shout outs that you guys can give. So first, you guys have any questions for us?
Questions? No, not at the moment. I think that you guys have all been doing great. I think you guys have helped us to all adapt smoothly, I think, to this whole online transition. Stayed calm. No, you guys have been helpful and awesome.
Not always calm behind the scenes, but calm in front.
Yeah. Yeah, it was literally during this broadcast today that we watched Governor DeWine with his new statements about schools, and so we'll try to bring in Dr. Hanlon for a new podcast so we can talk about what this means for Chardon local school district as we transition through the fourth quarter, just like we are right now, and the plans that we have with reacclimating, hopefully sooner than later in the fall.
Can I mention one thing, Doug?
Yeah.
I just want to say too, it's something that, again, we've all had a lot of time to be able to think and meditate on things that have been happening. But what I find to be so inspiring is through all of this uncertainty / panic / worry and wondering when life is going to get back to normal and have that state of normalcy. You guys talked about how important it is that we as teachers and you guys as administrators are trying to still set that state of normalcy with the students, because they need that. They need that organization. They need that something to look forward to at a certain time, a certain day. And as an adult, and my inspirations and who I look up to, I grew up in the 80s, 90s with my Reading Rainbow, my Mr. Rogers, my Bob Ross, and amongst them. One thing that kind of made me think about this is, for instance, host of Reading Rainbow, LeVar Burton. He does live readings on Twitter every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, reading books to children, teens, and I just find that, that's one example, but I find that to be so inspiring to be able to set myself to a certain day, a certain time, watch one of my childhood heroes, and have something to look forward to. Another instance, a band that I listen to that I'm in love with is a small kind of independent band from California. He had a live streaming concert the other day, and it's those little things that artists are doing around the world to still, they still have a means of getting their craft and their love out there. And in the digital age, I mean, it's thriving. The art and entertainment is still thriving. Yes. Your movie theaters are shut down. Your movie producers and production teams are shut down. Your next Avengers movie is getting delayed months and months. But actors and artists and performers, musicians are still able to get their love and craft out there. And it's just a matter of us to be able to, know how to research and find them. But I mean, they have a means of getting them out there. So I love the fact that art is still thriving in some way. And it's allowing for us as consumers, our consumer side, to still find that hope and something to look forward to, and they have the vehicle to do it.
It also makes them seem a little more human, I think, in a lot of ways too. Like some of these, these artists who you never think of, but they're stuck in their homes too. Now, maybe their home is a little bigger than ours, but they're stuck. They're stuck in their homes and their apartments, whatever it might be. They're stuck. They're staying in place too, which is kind of a neat thing.
I know. Tom Hanks hosted Saturday Night Live last weekend from home.
Yeah.
There's still a way of getting love, art, and passion out there.
Absolutely.
Through these weird times, but
yeah.
All right.
Mrs. Blaschke, any type of shout out you'd like to make to your students, your colleagues, your family, your friends?
Oh God, I know that my face is usually just one expression for the most part. People don't know probably what I'm thinking, but yeah, I really do miss everybody. I know that a lot of times we get burned out and we almost forget how good we have it as educators and administrators and all that. And I'm not just saying this, but we really do have the best jobs. And this is just a big reminder, I think, for us all that, I don't know, we need each other and we need to support each other through these really strange times.
Yes.
But I'm looking forward to seeing everyone again in person.
Hi, should we make some pizzas?
Oh, we got to make some pizza. Back to school party.
Three
It's
Stooges
gonna be
pizza.
a rager.
I'll make your dough.
Oh, there you
There
go.
we go. Since she has all the yeast in Northeast Ohio.
You've been stealing the yeast.
No, No, I I've got harder now. Okay, I don't need these.
So there are ways that we can follow you on any social media, so our listeners can, if they want to see some student works or see your work. Is there any way that our listeners can follow you?
I'm working on, it's been an ongoing process, but I'm working on a comic book. So I'm writing and illustrating that, and I've been posting concept sketches on Instagram. So my Instagram is EW Haubs, art. And that is my Instagram account, page, address, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
EW Haubs art.
Awesome.
I also have an Instagram. It's Christina with a CH Blaschke art. And yeah, it's all on there.
Cool. Well, check those out.
You'll gain about 1 or 2 more followers after this podcast. That's about all we have following us. So
I need followers.
1 or 2.
I've got like 5. If I could just get
All
to
right.
we're good.
Yeah, I need them.
Yeah.
Shout out to our regulars who watch every day.
Yeah, exactly, including Quinn, who sent me another email. Is there a podcast today? Yes, there is. We're recording it right now.
Awesome.
Well, you guys
Definitely good to hear
enjoy
from you
this.
guys, yeah.
Enjoy the beauty of today. Thank you for
Yeah.
coming in. And
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Hauber, the next time you do a live class, I want to join you again, like I did when I went into Sydney's class. That was so much fun in the morning.
Good. Awesome. Yeah, we'll
All
have
right.
one soon.
All right, take care.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Yep.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Enjoy.
See ya.